Hello Star Wars nerds, Gray Sky Bricks here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 most powerful clone legions in all of the Republic. This list looks at skill, leadership, combat history, and just overall how valuable they really were for the Clone Wars. Anyways, without any further ado, remember to like and subscribe, and let's get started. First things first, at number 10 we have the 91st Reconnaissance Corpse. Led by Commander Neo and Jedi General Stas Ali, the 91st specialized in recon, patrol, and fast strike operations. They weren't flashy and they didn't fight in the biggest battles, but they were very efficient and trustworthy, kind of similar to the Clone Commandos. Neo's unit executed precise attacks often behind enemy lines. He had a more cold, calculated, and accurate style similar to Commander Picard. His style was perfect for the hit and runs missions that the Republic signed and that they pretty much specialized in. Their lack of appearances in the show isn't a weakness. In reality, it just shows their stealth-based role and how underground they were for the Republic and how they executed things that most of the time weren't acknowledged or witnessed. In Order 66, they took out Stas Ali in one clean maneuver on the speeder bikes. They have some pretty cool speeder bikes in my opinion, but you could recognize them because they wore their logo on their helmet and their torso armor. And I honestly think that they have some of the most underrated armor in all of Star Wars because their overall armor shape and design was different from pretty much every other Phase 1 and Phase 2 clone trooper at the time. Next up at number 9, we have the 41st Elite Corps. 41st Elite Corps, led by Commander Gree and Jedi Master Luminara Unduli, later led by Yoda because, Luminara gets eliminated, was known for its skill in environmental warfare. These clones adapted to forest and jungle terrain most famously during the Battle of Kashyyyk with the Wookiees in Episode 3. Their green camo armor was unique to their unit and showed how they tailored their tactics and put in effort to blend into each environment they fought in. Gree's loyalty was strong, until Order 66 when he attempted to kill Yoda and failed instantly. Bro got his freaking head chopped off by a 3'2" goblin with a lightsaber. Their main strength was in versatility and working with native species and mastering harsh terrain. And honestly, what is kind of an overlooked aspect is that the 41st Elite Corps really did a good job of persuading the native species to fight with them. And if you look at a lot of the battles, and definitely a lot of the battles won by the 41st, most of the time they had the native species fighting with them against the Separatists, which really aided their supplies and really gave them motivation and hope, per se. Next up at number 8, we have the 327th Star Corps. Recognized by their yellow armor and led by Commander Bly and General Ayala Secura, the 327th was an Outer Rim assault unit. They fought in brutal frontline campaigns across a ton of desert and jungle worlds. Bly was among the earliest ARC-style commanders, trained to think creatively and independently like we would see with more clones later down the line. The Yellow Troopers operated in some of the most dangerous zones of the war and fought pretty damn well too. On Felucia, during Order 66, Bly's troops executed Ayala in one of the most emotional betrayals of all the Clone Wars. They were elite, loyal, and trustworthy, not to mention Bly cracked Ayala. And fun fact, the reason why the troopers kept shooting Ayala multiple times, even when she was down, was because they respected her so much that they didn't want her to suffer a death, so they shot her multiple times to make sure that she died a quick, fast death out of respect for their formal general. At number 7, we had none other than the Coruscant Troopers, or Shock Troopers if you will. The red armored Coruscant Guards served as the Republic's military police, led by Commanders Fox, Thorn, and Thyre. They enforced the law in Coruscant, protected senators, and later became enforcers of Palpatine's will. They were also there to pick up Anakin or Vader's body on Mustafar at the end of Episode 3, as we see at the end of Episode 3. Unlike most legions, they had direct access to political power, and they weren't known for large-scale battles, but their impact was massive, especially in covering up the inhibitor chip conspiracy and executing Order 66 without hesitation. Think of them as the Republic's SWAT team, kind of. Their strength was in loyalty, intimidation, and basically just sheer control. I do have a personal grudge against them, though, because they killed my boy Fives. Justice for Fives, and they chased down Ahsoka Tano on a crime that she didn't commit, which, can you blame them for that? I don't know. I don't know why, it's just I've always had a grudge against the Shock Troopers. Next up at number 6, we have the 104th Battalion, or the Wolfpack. One of my favorite legions or battalions, the Wolfpack was led by none other than Commander Wolf and Jedi General Plo Koon. Coincidentally, my favorite commander and my favorite Jedi General. They specialized in tactical boarding operations, rescue missions, and space combat. They gained a reputation for discipline, courage, and unbreakable loyalty to their Jedi. Wolf later removed his inhibitor chip, showing that his unit had not only skill but moral strength, and that's part of also what I really like about the 104th is that the reason why they have so much personality is because Plo Koon treated them like people. He treated them like they were actual soldiers and that they were different from each other, not just numbers to be written in a book. They participated in high-stakes missions and were often relied upon on critical situations. Few clone units had a tighter bond with their Jedi than the Wolfpack, and it was mainly because Plo Koon treated his clones super well, like I said earlier. Unlike somebody. I'm looking at you, Kiadi Moody. But yeah, also another fun fact here, in Order 66, Palpatine knew that his clones wouldn't kill him because they had such a close bond, so he made sure that there was a different legion that took Plo Koon's fighter out in the middle of the Clone Wars, so there you go. Next up at number 5, we have the 187th Legion. Bro, there's this fly that, like, I hear it, but it's... Oh, I see it. Nah, whatever, I'll get it later. But anyways, the 187th Legion, while less commonly featured and technically not canon, the 187th was associated with Mace Windu in various Star Wars materials. They wore bright purple armor and fought in brutal frontline engagements. Mace Windu was also one of the most powerful Jedi generals, and naturally his clones matched that energy. Direct, aggressive, and fearless. While we don't see them much in canon media, the reputation and expanded lore marks them as a force to be reckoned with. They represented discipline and raw strength just like their master. And actually, fun fact here, hold on. Here are some 187th clone figures I have. That is actually some of my favorite colored clone figures. Are actually freaking awesome, bro. Shout out to these guys. Love them. Pretty rare too, or gonna be pretty rare. Next up at number 4, we have the Doom unit, also known as the Green Company. Commanded by Commander Doom and Jedi Master Tiplar, later Tip Lee, because, you know, Tup has a inhibitor chip malfunction and kind of kills Tiplar. This unit served during the several key engagements in the mid to late Clone Wars. They were known for their green highlighted armor and tight formation tactics. Also a fun fact why they were called Doom is because they closely resembled the colors and markings that Dr. Doom had from the Marvel Universe. I'll throw up 2 pictures right now. They look pretty close alike. That's also why Commander Doom was called Doom, is because he literally looks like just a clone version of Dr. Doom. Doom's unit suffered heavy losses during the fateful Order 66 conspiracy arc, with Fives and Tup and that whole ordeal, especially when Tup executed Tiplar due to his malfunctioning chip. Despite this tragedy, Doom's unit was highly coordinated, adaptable, and feared on the battlefield, just like Dr. Doom in the Marvel Universe. Getting down to the top 3 here. For the 3rd place most powerful clone unit, we have the 99th Battalion, or as you guys may know them, the Bad Batch. Clone Force 99 was the Republic's most out-of-place squad. Hunter, Wrecker, Tech, Crosshair, and later Echo formed a group of genetically mutated clones with enhanced abilities. They were sent on only dangerous missions: sabotage, infiltration, and black ops. Each member brought a specialized skill that made them unstoppable as a team. While small in number, their impact was actually huge. They even survived past Order 66 and defied the Empire and the show that we know as The Bad Batch, which is one of the best clone shows Disney's ever made, in my opinion. Next up at number 2, you guys probably know who these are, the 212th Battalion. One of the most well-known battalions, they were led by Commander Cody and Obi-Wan Kenobi. The 212th was a powerhouse and was pretty freaking hard to be stopped. From the Battle of Christophsis to the Siege of Utapau, the unit showed discipline, large-scale strategy, and willingness to take orders without a doubt, as Cody does in Order 66. Cody was one of the most respected clones in the army, balancing loyalty with leadership and allowing the clones to feel like they had a voice in the midst of chaos. The 212th was constantly on the front lines and took part in many of the Republic's most critical victories. Their size, coordination, and leadership made them an elite force and highly unstoppable, pretty much. Next up, the number 1 most powerful clone legion in all of Star Wars. You guys probably could have guessed it as well. The 501st Legion, or Vader's Fist. There's no denying it. The 501st Legion is the most powerful clone unit in all of Star Wars. Led by Captain Rex and General Anakin Skywalker, this unit fought through the darkest and most challenging battles of the war. Umbara, which is my favorite war, Mandalore, and the Jedi Temple. They were fearless and elite, and personally trained by one of the most dangerous Jedi in history, Mr. Anakin Skywalker. After Order 66, the 501st transitioned directly into serving Darth Vader, becoming a symbol of fear across the galaxy. From start to finish, the 501st was the most versatile, aggressive, and legendary legion in the Grand Army of the Republic. They became known as Vader's Fist after the fall of the Republic because how dedicated they were to serving their former master, Vader. That's the list. Do you guys agree with the ranking? Which legion deserved to have the top spot? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. This is Gray Sky Bricks, and may the Force be with you.